Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Unity. Apostles. Yeah. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind.
Today's class is called A Friend to All is a Friend to None. A friend to all is a friend to none. Meaning, this is the meaning. I see how to look this stuff up and give it the spiritual sense. It means if everyone is perceived in the same way, no one would be special. If everyone is perceived in the same way, no one is special. This is why Esau pushes all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, because they want to give off the impression that we all on the same level, therefore nothing about us is special, which is totally false. Esau makes sure we love and get along with everybody so that it will be impossible to see ourselves as special or chosen. That's their job. Give me Leviticus 11:45. Give me Leviticus 11 verse 45. Go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 45.
Go ahead.
For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
To be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy.
God says, ye shall be holy, for I am holy. And we're going to look up the definition of holy. Give me the definition of holy, Hasadai. Give me the definition of holy. We're going to look up the definition of holy. God says that you need to be holy, for I am holy. Give me the definition of holy.
You want me to read it? It's up there.
No, I read it. I can see. I got my glasses on. It says, holy, exalted or worthy of complete devotion as one perfect in goodness and righteousness. The third one is what I want. Devoted entirely, no, that ain't, is the last one, right? B, yeah, that's what I want. Venerated as or as if sacred. Holy means to be sacred. Now let's look up the word sacred. Look up the word sacred. Because God says you need to be holy because I'm holy. I mean, you need to be sacred. Let's see what sacred means. Definition of sacred. Dedicated or set apart for the service or worship of a deity. Look at B. Highly valued and important. So let's read that scripture again. I get my laptop up. I kill myself trying to read that. Read that scripture.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 45.
Go ahead.
For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy.
So God says we got to be sacred. We got to be set apart. We got to be different. Why? Because God is sacred. God is set apart. God is different. And we always read that scripture, but we never put two and two together that God is telling you to be like him. God is saying, hey, I'm holy. I'm set apart. I'm sacred. Therefore, I'm making you all the same way. Go to Leviticus 19 and 2.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel,
Go ahead.
and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy.
God says, ye shall be holy. You shall be sacred. You shall be set apart. You shall be highly valued. Why? Because God said he is sacred. He's set apart. Get Psalms 96 and 5. God says, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. So we got to understand, what makes God holy? What makes him holy? Get Psalms 96 and 5.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
God says all of the deities of the world, you got Baal, you got Allah, Vishnu, Buddha, Caesar Borgia. You got all these other gods of the other nations. All these gods and these religions. God says they are what? Read it again.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
God says all of the gods of the nations are idols. So you got to ask yourself, God says, I'm holy. I'm set apart. I'm sacred. And then he says all the other gods are nothing. That lets you know God ain't up there with other people. God ain't up there with Buddha. God ain't joining himself with Allah. God ain't joining himself with what's the other one? Ushna?
Vishnu.
Vishnu.
The blue one with the arms.
Yeah, the East Indian.
Elam, yeah.
God ain't joining himself with these other gods. These other deities. These other idols. God says, I'm holy. You got to be holy. Get Isaiah 6 and 1. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this laptop, man. This thing is not turning on.
You can read it from your Telegram, because that's where you send it to me on my phone.
That's why you here, bro. That's why you here. Thank you. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne.
So Isaiah saw the Lord sitting on his throne. Read on.
High and lifted up.
Go ahead.
And his train filled the temple.
His train is what?
His train filled the temple.
Go ahead.
Above it, the cherubims, each one has 6 wings. With twain he covered his face. And with twain he covered his feet.
Go ahead.
And with twain he did fly.
So these are angels. The seraphims. These are angels. Read on.
And one cried unto another.
Read.
And said, Holy, holy.
What did it say?
Holy, holy.
Go ahead.
Holy is the Lord of hosts.
The angels are screaming that the Lord is holy. The Lord is set apart. There's no other God like our God. He's not up there with anybody. He's not marching with Black Lives Matter. That's right. He's not marching with the white man. He is not confederate with no other people. That's what makes him holy. That's what makes him set apart. He created the world and he did it for one people. Get Isaiah 45 and 5.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 5. I am the Lord, and there is none else.
Go ahead.
There is no God beside me.
There's no what?
There is no God beside me.
So you gotta ask yourself, is God friend to all? If God was friend to all, why he not friends to their gods? Think about it. If I'm okay with the white man, that means I'm okay with the doctrine he's teaching. If I'm okay with the Chinaman, I mean I'm okay with him serving Buddha. If God loved everybody, why isn't he also in confederate with everyone else's idols? Why would he only want them to serve? Why would he only acknowledge, hey, I'm the only God up here, bro. It's only me up here.
Why would he make commandment number 1?
Right, thou shalt not serve no other gods. God is a racist. God is a separatist. Read on.
I girded thee, though thou hast not known me.
Go ahead. You're going to read the verse 8.
That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me.
Guess what?
That there is none beside me.
God says there is no other God but me. There is no other God but the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's it. There's no other God but him. Read on.
I am the Lord.
You're going to read the verse 8.
And there is none else.
Go ahead.
I form the light.
I form the light.
And create darkness.
I create darkness.
I make peace.
Go ahead.
And create evil.
Watch this.
I, the Lord, do all these things. Drop down, ye heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open, and let them bring forth
What verse you at?
salvation. Verse 8.
Go ahead.
Salvation, and let righteousness spring up together. I, the Lord, have created it.
I, the Lord, have created it. God says, ain't nobody up there doing this with me. Nobody else. I didn't counsel with Buddha how he wanted the earth to be. I didn't counsel with Allah.
That's right.
I didn't counsel with Caesar Borgia. I didn't counsel with Vishnu. I didn't counsel with Baal. I didn't counsel with Molech. I didn't counsel with no other God on how I want the earth to be, on who I want my people to be. I didn't counsel with nobody else. I did not confederate with no one else. I did not join no one else's movement. I didn't do none of that. God says, I am alone. I did it myself. And then he said, be like me. God says, hey, you see me, I did this by myself. Be holy just like me, because I'm holy. Go to Hosea 13 and 4.
Book of Hosea, chapter 13 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
Yet I am the Lord thy God.
Go ahead.
From the land of Egypt. And thou shalt know no God but me.
Thou shalt do what?
No God but me.
God is a separatist. He said, you better not know other God but me. Because when you follow after a nation, when you try to befriend a nation, you also befriend that nation's God. That's what it says. A friend to all is a friend to none. Because if I want to be a friend with the white man, I want to be friend with the China man, I want to be friend with the Arab man, that means I'm okay with them worshiping another God. Therefore, it makes me friends with their God.
That's right.
That's why God said, be ye holy, for I am holy. That's why it's impossible. It's impossible to be friends with another nation and not be in agreements with who they serve.
Right.
It's impossible. That's why God says, be ye separate. Right. Be ye separate, because when you join yourselves to these nations, you become accepting to their God. Go ahead, Austin.
And they say that America is a Christian nation.
Right.
Ain't that what they say? But what is one of their amendments?
What, the 13th Amendment?
Yeah. Nah, the one, the right to religion.
Right. Yeah,
You have your
right.
own. That
The
is-
freedom of religion.
Yeah, freedom of religion. There you go. And that is not godly. So how the hell is this supposed to be a Christian nation when it said freedom of religion,
Yep.
but God is a separatist?
Yep. Hey, speaking of religion, we had an Edomite pastor come against us today at camp.
Oh yeah.
And he got shut down by the prophets.
That's right.
He got shut down to the point where the Lord sent a malice spirit on some young kids, and they're about to knock them out with rocks.
Gonna stone him.
Hey,
Stone him.
Simon Judah had to go over there and tell them, hey, calm down, y'all, stop. And they were submissive to Simon Judah. But to the Edomite, they're like, nah, I'm about to whoop his behind. I said, it's all of the Lord, man. It's all of the Lord. But they didn't dare come against us. But this white dude was coming against us for teaching our people how important they are.
Yes, sir. Right.
Teaching our people that their lives matter. What I say? Isaiah 45:21. Isaiah 45:21. A friend to all is a friend to none. That's why they say, oh, can we all just get along? No! I don't want to get along with everybody. Somebody got to pay. They want to say, can we all get along after They done enslaved us for over 400 years. They done raped, robbed, murdered us. Hey, I don't know if y'all seen an interview with the sister say, it's like playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
But the white man burnt the, how it went? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, she said, imagine playing Monopoly, but the other people get 400 turns to go around the board, and you got to sit there and wait until you get your turn. But then when you do get your turn, then you can't do nothing with the property. You can't buy, you can't own, you get your money burnt, you get your property taken away, and they keep taking turns.
They just keep taking turns.
They allow you a little time to play, you know, little room to play. But then after you play and you get so far, then they bum it like they did.
Right away. Yeah, hey, that's what she said. She said then they burned them. They burned the Monopoly board.
Yeah, they burned.
Hey, yeah. I remember that. She did say that. She said after you do get a little bit, they burn the Monopoly board.
Yeah.
You know how evil that is, man?
Yeah.
This is that same people that tell us, love everybody.
Right.
All praise to the Most High, man. Our people starting to wake up, though. They starting to really realize that this man is the devil. But now they got to realize they got to repent. Isaiah 45:21.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 21.
Go ahead.
Tell ye, and bring them near. Yea, let them take counsel together.
Go ahead.
Who has declared this from ancient time?
Go ahead.
Who has told it from that time?
Who has told this from that time? Who has declared the Bible from thousands and thousands of years of what it was going to come to pass? Who? What other God has done it? What other religious book? Because it's not a religious book. It's a history book. But what religious book have foretold thousands of years of slavery? Thousands of years of oppression? You can't name one. Read on. Thank you. About time. Here we go.
Have not I the Lord?
Have what?
Have not I the Lord?
God says, only I've done it. No other God has done what our God has done. No other God can say they are the mightiest. They are the greatest. No other God can do it but our God. You should better take some pride in who you serve, man. Take some pride in who you belong to. You belong to a God of gods. You belong to the creator of heaven and earth. You belong to the creator of humankind. Thank you. That's who you belong to. But what we want to do, we want to leave that almighty being and march with white folks. We want to leave the hand of safety from a God who created heaven and earth to march with white folks. I want to serve Caesar Borgia. I want to go into Islam. I want to do what I want to do. Read on. What verse are you finished that verse 21?
No, sir.
Read.
And there is no God else beside me.
There is no God else beside our God. Read on. That's it?
A just God and a Savior. There is none beside me.
That's it? Verse 21?
Yes, sir.
God says there's no God but him. There is none beside him. Get the Bible definition of holy.
Holy. Usually translate words derived from a herb. Root meaning separateness, withdrawal.
Root meaning the word herb meaning separated or withdraw. Did you get it, officer? Yeah, just take it out the bag, the big part. There you go. Read it again, officer. Done.
Holy usually translate words derived from a herb. Root meaning separateness, withdrawal.
Withdraw, right? Separate. Go on. Read down to the highlighted one. It's highlighted.
His name is holy.
His name is holy.
His spirit is holy. See separate article. Holy Spirit.
Go ahead.
Persons connected with holy places.
It says persons connected with the holy places.
And holy services were holy.
Well, go ahead.
Priests.
The priests were persons connected with holy places that were holy. Go ahead.
And their garments.
Their garments were connected with holy places that were holy. Go ahead.
Israel
Who?
Israel
Go ahead.
as a nation.
Israel as a nation was connected to holy places. What it says? Let me see. It says Israel were persons connected with holy places and holy services were holy. It says Israel as a nation, go ahead.
Individually.
And what?
Individually.
And individually. The white man know. It says Israel as a nation and Israel individually. We all supposed to be holy. We are holy. And God gives us the example how to be holy. Jeremiah 2 and 3. What's this thing?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Israel was holiness unto the Lord.
Israel was what?
Holiness unto the Lord.
Israel is holy. God doesn't dwell with any other gods. Therefore, Israel must not dwell with any other nations. God does not dwell with any other gods. Therefore, Israel must not dwell with any other nations. Meaning our ideologies, meaning our beliefs, meaning our structure, our morality, everything that we know, we got to get it from our holy God. Not from an unholy nation as the white man or the China man. Go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
For thou art an holy people.
Thou art what?
An holy people.
Thou art an holy people. Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord has chosen thee to be a peculiar people.
To be a peculiar. Let's get that definition. Get the definition of peculiar. Did I see that, Officer Soldier?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why is this thing moving so slow, man? Maybe if I exit out and go back in. All right. Peculiar, it said characteristic of only one person, group, or thing. Verse 2. Different from the usual or normal. Look at the synonym. Special, particular, unusual. God says your job is to be special, particular, unusual, curious.
They always trying to
Right.
figure out something.
Why is this people still able to live?
Yeah, how are they able to keep going when we got extinction setups going?
How is this possible?
How are they able to dance and do the things they do, and how are they able to be so strong?
Right.
Why can they survive our medical apartheid?
Hey, we done did everything, man. They done tried to kill us many times.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
For the whole creature in his proper kind was fashioned again anew.
Go ahead.
Serving the peculiar commandments.
Serving the what?
Peculiar commandments.
Serving the peculiar commandments. So that's what makes us different. That's what makes us holy. That's what makes us peculiar. Because we are keeping the commandments of a peculiar God. We are keeping the commandments of a holy God. That's what makes us holy. You gotta let me in, soldier. Thank you. All right, get me Isaiah 8 and 9. There we go. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 9. Associate yourselves, O ye people.
God says, associate yourselves, O ye people. Go ahead.
And ye shall be broken in pieces.
God says, associate yourselves, O ye people, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Associate means to join. God says, you join yourself with these nations, you're going to be broken into pieces. You're going to be destroyed. You're going to be systematically destroyed, systematically prosecuted. Everything in this world is going to be against you because you don't want to be holy. You want to be like all the other nations. Mm-hmm. Just like when they said, we want to make a king like all the other nations. Let us get King Saul. The Lord said, okay. He's going to be your God, but he's going to be the wickedest king. He's going to be wicked as hell. Because we want to be like everybody else. We don't. You got to finish verse 9.
And give ear All ye of far countries,
read on.
gird yourselves, gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces.
Gird yourself and you shall be broken in pieces. Now watch this. What happens when you trust your enemy? God says you're going to be broken in pieces. I'm going to show y'all something. Give me the first video. Give me the first video. I want y'all to pay attention. Blow it up. Volume. Oh, they can hear, but what? We can't hear? What? That's gonna work.
Hold on 1 second.
I got a video for y'all. I want y'all to pay attention. How can we agree with a nation that has done all these things to us? You ready? Go ahead. This is what happens when you associate yourself.
This is the real story of how crack changed everything. My name is Aaron Williams. I'm a journalist from Compton, California. I've been researching the effects of the crack epidemic for over a decade. Crack is the processed version of the party drug cocaine in rock form.
I did try it, and from that moment on, I was chasing the initial high. It goes directly to the pleasure center of your brain. There's just no escape from it once you're addicted.
It was so profitable to sell crack. Everybody lost their minds.
$1, $2, $3 more when a young baby mama and a daughter going broke, baby.
Increased violence, gangs, riots.
The Crips and the Bloods have swarmed eastward.
The use of crack increasing quickly.
Fearlessly setting up an open-air drug market.
The reaction of mainstream America was, oh my God, we have to fix this immediately.
They work every day to plot a new and better way to steal our children's lives.
That was right around the time the Dare came out, the egg in the skillet.
This is your brain on drugs.
Danger of crack.
Thousands of dollars in cash and firearms.
Enough is enough.
Trying to fix things without knowing how they got broken in the first place is a great way to break them worse. You had Ronald Reagan getting involved.
Retribution must be swift and sure for those who decide to make a career of preying on the innocent.
You have the militarized police. I've seen plenty of raids in my lifetime. If you ever seen the movie Straight Outta Compton where the tank rams in the door, that was right around the corner from my house. I remember thinking, that's a house. People live there. If you were caught with rock cocaine, they were getting these sentences for 25 years.
Pause it. Pause it. Okay. Hey, y'all can hear me, right? Okay. Hey, I want y'all to pay attention to this. They said if you was caught with a rock, a crack rock, y'all know a rock is one rock, you would get 25 years. I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention.
Cap, that's what they call football numbers.
That's football numbers. That's football numbers. 7, 14, 21, 28. Football numbers, man. And we want to march with these people?
Right.
Now watch this. Keep going. Let it play.
You gotta have mandatory voice. You gotta show people if you arrest them, we're gonna keep them.
Pause. Wow, go back. I need you to catch that. Go back. There we go, right there. It says from 1982 to 1995, the number of minorities in California prisons increased 400%. How is that possible? That's only what? 13 years? Am I correct?
You correct.
I went to Judite school, so I don't really know how to count. That's 13 years.
13 only.
Only. And it went up 400%. Y'all know what that means? Black men lost the ability to raise their kids, lost the ability to show their wives that they are somebody, lost that ability. Keep going. We're going to go more into it. Keep going. This is what Esau gave us, y'all. Read. Go ahead.
People are going in at 20 and coming out at 45. How are you supposed to build it?
That was a heavy point. He said the brothers would go in 20. Now, you gotta rewind it. The brothers would go into prison 20 years old, come out 45 years old. He said, how are you supposed to build a community that way? It's impossible. You can't do it. Go ahead.
Had this proxy war going on.
A Senate investigative panel found that there were people associated with the CIA who were involved with drug trafficking.
Stop! This went to the white man's courtroom and was found, what's what I'm looking for? It was found correct. The CIA was funding crack cocaine in California. The CIA was linking with Rick Ross.
The real Rick Ross.
The real Rick Ross, not the fat one from Miami. The real Rick Ross was getting funded from the CIA to push crack in black neighborhoods. This is the man that we trying to join. This is the man that we want to be friends to. That's what it says, friends to all is friends to none. How can you be friends with a man that literally destroyed generations? Is people still hooked on crap because of the 80s?
And this is a proven fact that they have not even tried to dispute.
No, they try to dispute it at all. At all. They just paid some media companies not to publish it. No, don't harp it on this media. Harp it on other things. Go on.
One of the motives was to raise money for the Contras in Nicaragua.
Tonight, I can report to you that we've made much progress.
It's almost hard to comprehend what might have
That's
been.
Pause it.
All of the North Iran country.
Right. This is when this is when America was in Nicaragua.
That's right.
When they was fighting down there in South America. So what they was doing was to fund that war because the America actually formed a militia. They formed a Nicaragua militia to fight, huh?
The Sandinistas.
The Sandinistas. They formed it. They formed it, funded it. But what they were doing was they were funding it with crack money. Even the Bay of Pigs, the Vietnam War, it was being funded by crack money that was pushed in black neighborhoods.
That's the same with that Iran Contra.
Right.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. So this is the same man that we want to march with.
Yeah.
This is the same man that we want them to join our fight when he's the one that created it. Go on.
Not for this crack scourge that raced through Los Angeles and other major cities.
Stop. So y'all saw the arrows, right? Go back to the arrows in the map. Right there. Y'all see how that crack spread all across America? Mainly in the east, the northeast, New York, New Jersey. The crack pandemic was actually worse in New York than it was in California. It was crazy. And brothers still slinging dope today. Still slinging crack today. Negroes don't know about hell, Negroes can't even pass a chemistry test.
Yeah.
How the hell Negroes know about cooking dope? Negroes will fail a chemistry test and then go home and cook coke.
Cook some coke, cut the coke, fix the coke, blow the coke up, do all kind of magical
Wrap it up, make sure it's good, and then ship it.
Now they know math real good.
Right.
Ounces.
They know the table and the table of elements. They know all the elements. They good. They know the melting heat of iron and gold and all this other crap, but couldn't pass a damn chemistry test. Go on.
Today, the perception is of crack users as losers. We still need treatment programs, and I think that we still need to decriminalize. Our mayor, Asia Brown, has done such a tremendous job of bringing jobs and employment back to Compton.
That was a great little mini documentary about the effects of our neighborhood that the devil imported, because we don't own no planes. Everybody's heard that before. We don't control the border. Everybody knows that. All the dope and the drugs is being brought in because they want it in. They want it in. They want to victimize us. Because once they put us, not only that, you gotta remember, gentrification comes in many forms. They put us in a neighborhood, and they put us in a thing which is called like a, like a food island?
Food desert.
A food desert, whereas the supermarkets is far. That means the jobs is far. That means the availability of things that we need is far, and necessities are far. So when everything is unavailable, and guns and drugs is, what you got? You got a crime-riddled, drug-infested neighborhood of brothers who are being groomed for prison.
Right.
For prison. And y'all noticed them dates. That was around the Clinton era, wasn't it?
No, that was Ronald Reagan.
That was Ronald Reagan?
Yep,
that was Reagan. Yeah, I guess that was Reagan and going into Clinton, huh?
Yep.
See that, and he's supposed to be one of the best presidents.
Hey, but remember, what was Reagan known for? For war on drugs.
Yeah.
A war on drugs that actually he helped create. Because Ronald Reagan was actually a part of that drug ring from the CIA given to Rick Ross, which ended up spreading throughout the country. That was Ronald Reagan. And then they said, oh, it's a, what do they call it? A drug workforce, something like that. War on drugs.
Yeah, war on drugs.
Then they invented, then they did what? Bill Clinton brought in what?
The three strikes
rule. 3 strikes, you done, you over. You get caught with a pipe on you, that's your 3rd strike, you're done.
Yeah, which is a non-violent crime.
Non-violent crime.
They sending brothers to jail for non-violent crime.
Bruh, they saying that 80% of brothers in prison are in prison for drug-related non-violent crimes.
So we got our black men going to gladiator school for non-violent crime.
Right. Hey, real talk, that's what it is. It's gladiator school because either you have to buck up or get bucked. That's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
All right, let's move on.
Brought out Isaiah 8:9. Associate yourselves, O you people, and you shall be broken into pieces.
Right.
So that's what the captain's bringing out, man. Like right now, we are so destroyed and lost and still continuing to try to hustle and make moves. We can't even see that. We are breaking into pieces.
Right.
We're falling apart as a people. We're falling apart at the seams.
Right. Absolutely. That's what's going on. Because this man does not benefit us at all. So when we're trying to associate with them, their agenda is actually to break us into pieces. That's their agenda. And it's been their agenda since the time we got off the slave ships, or since the time they set foot on this land. Go ahead, Sadai. You're going to play the 4 minutes. We probably got to do a part 2 because I don't think we're going to make it through this. Can y'all hear this? Are we good? Okay, all praise. Thank you, Elijah. All right, all praise. We good. Turn it up a little bit. So.
Journalist. I've been an investigative journalist for about 25 years for daily newspapers, and in 1996 I wrote a series of stories entitled Dark Alliance, which was about CIA involvement in drug trafficking.
Hey, pause it. It said, go back a little bit. It says, published in San Jose Mercury News, Gary's investigation linked the CIA's cocaine operation to the crack epidemic that was rampant in Los Angeles ghettos. You see how very particular that was?
Yeah.
Los Angeles ghettos.
My story showed was that the cocaine that was being sold in those neighborhoods was coming from mainly one source, and this one source was being used to finance a guerrilla war in Central America.
Yeah, just leave. We old folks, man. We don't know about this Zoom. In 1987, the Kerry Committee hearings, I can't see that word right there. Exposed a CIA drugs for arms operation established to fund the right-wing Nicaraguan Contra rebels. Y'all see that? the CIA operated a drugs for arms to establish to fund the right wing. So they was using the addiction of black people to fund their war. That's some evil, evil stuff. We've always been used to assist in Esau's war tactics. That's why this Black Lives Matter stuff is all part of Esau's war tactics. All of it. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Go to Proverbs 3:31. We almost done, man. I ain't gonna be able to get through all this. I got a whole nother page. Proverbs 3:31.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
God says, envy thou not the oppressor. Envy means to covet. Envy means to do what they do. God says, don't envy the oppressors. Read on.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of this man's ways. So you gotta understand what God is telling you. When you say don't choose none of his ways, that means don't involve yourself in anything that involves them. Your Black Lives Matter, you're marching, you're protesting. You see the white man taking over your what's I'm looking for? Your movement. You get the hell out of that movement. Because that's a sign of corruption. That's a sign that, hey, stuff about to hit the fan. In the midst of the rioting, the Supreme Court passed laws that benefited LGBTQ. They have just now made Black Lives Matter about LGBTQ. All of it. That's why they did a LGBTQ rally in New York saying that LGBTQ lives matter. It was more black people in that rally than it was for George Floyd. So basically the scene that we set up was Esau put crack in the neighborhood, sent the black men to jail. The 13th Amendment allowed for black men to be put back into slavery once they get caught. Once they get caught selling that crack that was put in their neighborhoods by the white man, they was able through the 13th Amendment to be sold as slaves because of that crime. Now I'll go to Jim Crow laws. This is the examples of Jim Crow laws. Go down. We're going to go over some Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws in daily life. Go ahead. Business. It says the businesses of America is business, said President Calvin Coolidge. But in his own era and in the present, it has been the country's business to enforce racial inequality. Buying, selling, and the simplest activities of daily life, symbolized most famously by the simple water fountain, were firmly segregated by Jim Crow laws. Watch in Alabama. Every employer of white or Negro males shall provide for such white or Negro males reasonably accessible and separate toilet facilities. Look at Alabama. It shall be unlawful. You ain't got to do that, soldier. It shall be unlawful to conduct a restaurant or other place for the serving of food in the city at which white and colored people are served in the same room. It was illegal to have a restaurant that served white and black people. It was illegal. Unless such white and colored persons are effectually separated by a solid partition extending from the floor upward to a distance of 7 feet or higher. Watch Georgia. All persons licensed to conduct the business of selling beer and wine shall serve either white people exclusively or colored people exclusively, and shall not sell to two races within the same room at any time. It was illegal to sell beer to a white man while a black man was in the room. Let's go to marriage. Go down to marriage. We're gonna deal with. Let's go to Florida. And I actually agree with these laws. All marriages between a white person and a Negro, or between a white person and a person of Negro descent to the 4th generation, exclusive, are hereby forever prohibited. Right. I say amen to that. Amen. Go down to medicine. It says Jim Crow laws require separate hospitals for whites and African Americans. What's more, restrictions on education guaranteed a constant shortage of African American medical professionals. Watch this. Many treatments were only available to white patients. And even blood transfusions were segregated by race. How the hell you segregate a blood? Think about it. You know what I said? Well, y'all bleed the same blood. Okay, but back in the time of Jim Crow, even your blood was different than mine.
Put the Negro blood in the back.
Yeah, put that in the back with the dogs. I ain't getting no Negro blood in me. Go down to education. Let's go to Texas. The County Board of Education shall provide schools of two kinds, those for white children and those for colored children. It says no single issue since the abolition of slavery, did I say that right?
Abolition.
Abolition of slavery has been the subject of more race-based conflict than education. Even after the 1964 Civil Rights Act banned segregated schooling, de facto segregation was maintained, both in and out of the Jim Crow South, meaning throughout the country. Through restricting, redlining, and covenants of parents and school administrators to maintain the racial homogeneity, did I say that right?
Homogeneity.
It's not homogeneity?
Homogeny.
Homogeny?
It's probably
Homogeneity? Y'all know what I mean, hell. Of white schools, go down. Y'all know what I mean.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey man, we fall under them Jim Crow education laws. I can't read the word. All right, go to the next. Go to Isaiah 42 and 22. We almost done. I'm going to give y'all a break so y'all don't be burnt out when Bishop come on. We almost done. I ain't going. Like I said, I got a whole another page, but I show mercy. Lord's will, next week we'll do part 2. Lord's will. Read Isaiah 42:22.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
The Israelites are robbed and spoiled. We are the only people on the earth that don't got nothing for ourselves. Everything about us has been stolen, robbed and spoiled. Spoiled rotten. Go ahead.
They are all of them snared in holes.
They are all snared in holes.
And they are hid in prison houses.
They are where?
Hid in prison houses.
God says we are in prison. Through that rob and spoiled and that hole, that snare, we have been put in prison. Think about this, y'all. We were so-called free from slavery, right?
That's right.
They made the 13th Amendment. Then they made the Jim Crow laws that we could go to jail, we can go to prison for whistling at a white woman. We can go to prison for laughing too loud at a white woman. So not only that, now I got legal reasoning to put your black behind in slavery. Then they say, you know what, that's not enough. Too many of them are still multiplying, they still have babies.
Yeah.
Let's put crack, which is the worst drug during that time, the 80s and the 90s and even the 2000s. Let's put crack in the black community. So not only will people lose their homes, lose their lives, they will lose their recognition of self. They will lose their self-esteem. They will lose everything. I seen this video last night when I was looking up crack videos. Brother said the first time he hit crack, he was like a 30-year-old brother, young, very young. The brother said the first time he hit crack, he said he was with his girlfriend. He took his girlfriend and go get some crack. He said she might have spent $10 for a rock. He said they went home. He said he ain't never did drugs before. They went home. She was pressuring him into trying it with her. So he tried it. He said the feeling was unexplainable. He said when he got up from that high, he went right back to that dealer and spent $60. He said when he woke up in the morning, he went and spent $400. Think about it. He only hit it one time. They knew how powerful this drug would be to black folk. Think about it. You give a person that lacks hope, lacks the way of life, lacks anything, Now you give them drugs. Now they're going to be chasing that high because they can't get that high nowhere else.
The greatest feeling they done ever had in their oppressed life.
Right, there you go. The greatest feeling they ever had, now they chasing that high. To the point where now they selling their kids. Rick Ross was talking about how people were selling their children for dough. They were selling their cars, spending their rent money, everything for dough. Having crack babies. Babies that are born addicted to crack. Tell you, man, Esau's the devil, man. We want to march with these people. We want to be friends with these people. That's why the title, A Friend to All is a friend to none. You a friend to these nations, you hate your own people. Right. No way you can be friends to me and friends with the people that oppress me. It's impossible. Notice the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
The enemy of your enemy is your friend.
No, you're 100% correct, Cap. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
But the problem is don't nobody know they enemies with the devil.
Right. Right. They think that the white man is an angel of light. No way that you can be his enemy. No way. Yes, he's the enemy.
Hey, Cap, have you ever noticed some of these Arab countries or these other countries will say to us, don't you see what they doing to you?
Oh, yeah.
Look at what hey, my brothers, we're sending out a public service announcement to you. This man is killing you. He's
right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Trying to get that same message.
Like, how can y'all take this? The Arabs would have, man, they'd have blew up everything. They'd have suicide bombed everything. They ain't done it. They'll play the radio. But black folks, we give in so quick, and we want everybody to join. That's why the Lord said we are the meek of the earth. Because our mentality is forgive, 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 forgive. We get that from God. But God says it's going to come a time where there is no more forgiveness.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.